Hello, everyone. Another episode of God Damn It, I'm Just Saying. Um, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe, all of that. You know, I'm still learning how to do all this greeting and all that, so no worries, okay? All right, anyway, today the topic is death. Okay. Um, for some reason, death has been on my mind because death comes in threes, right? I remember growing up. It seemed like whenever one person in our family died, we had two more that would die right after. And not that I want this conversation to be morbid or anything. It's not. It's not about that. It's about the fact that I do know that death and I walk hand in hand. That's family. The spirit of death, the angel of death, is my family, right? If you are an angel, whether you're an earth angel or you're from the stars like I am, angel of death, just like the angel Michael, the angel Gabriel, the angel Raphael, the angel Aniel, Hasatan, Lucifer. Hello, hi, Lucifer. Hi, I am. Yes, we are family, right? So, I was thinking about how, being in this human experience that I am experiencing, I have come in contact face to face with death on a few occasions. Okay? As a chosen one, I'm learning more and more about the fact that there were, what's the verse? The scripture, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and, high places and things like that. Well, it's not just flesh and blood, right? But then it is also flesh and blood. But I have to admonish that the fact that the flesh and blood, those that are allowing the demonic spirit that they have on them to utilize them to do things to cause harm to people, all over with the chosen ones, I guess I can't say it's their fault, but in a way it is, because you made a choice, right? We all make choices in life. And then there are those that have placed death spells on people. I had got a download, and I've gotten this download months ago. And I knew I was going to need to address it sooner or later, but I guess it's that time that I address it, because I was reminiscing. I was actually recollecting or recalling the day I died. I paused because I wanted you to hear what I just said. I was recalling the day I died. Okay? I've come into near-death experiences a few times over. But the day I think I actually died, I was recalling it. Things happened that were weird that day. So, the downloads that I got, I wrote them down. Pause for the calls. Let me get my other book. Okay, I'm back, y'all. I had to go in and get my other little book. I'm telling y'all, when I say I've got notebooks all over the place, I just grab and write, and I want to get so better organized than I've been recently. Just all over the place. It's so much information that comes to me at times, in weird hours and weird times. Most of the time it's when I'm driving and I can't even write it down. So then I have my voice recorder, and if I don't have that near me, then that's another problem. On a side note, trying to figure out how then after I do use my voice recorder to get those messages that I record, excuse me, on the voice recorder onto my computer in a format that is usable, compatible. All right. Well, anyway, I do apologize. Just one moment. It is quiet in here, and I just realized that too. Kind of enjoying it. The girls have gone to their concert, their K-pop concert. We're in LA, and I'm in the Airbnb apartment room that we have, chilling, enjoying just peace and solitude. I took a little walk. Wilshire Boulevard. We're right off of Wilshire Boulevard. I mean, literally, like, come out of the building and you walk up to the corner, and we're on Wilshire. So, yeah, we kind of, it's a nice little apartment building. But a nice little apartment building. We on the 11th floor. Yeah. We're on the 11th floor, and it's a nice little building, nice little apartment and everything. Little studio, but we three, we know how to work it, and we're good. So anyway, and we're here until Monday, so hey, enjoying that time. Anyway. So like I said, back to the message at hand. Still trying to keep it in the 15-20 minute mark or whatever. On the, like I said, I had this download months ago, so I had actually planned on talking about this, but for some reason I don't know, I think it's supposed to be today. Alright, so the day I died. I remember doing the little video, and it was a quick one, little, what do they call them, the little quick snap, the little quick shots of a video. I can't think of the name right now. Yeah, the shorts. And I was playing the song Nina Simone. From Nina Simone, I'm Feeling Good. On 11/26/24 is when I wrote down these little notes. Okay, so I wrote down the song Nina Simone, Feeling Good. I wrote down the date of my accident that happened to me and my daughters in Kansas City. I'm going to tell y'all that date, okay? And it was May 5th, so 5/5/2012. Do the math. 2012. 5. Because 2 + 2 + 1 is 5. So, May 5th, 2012. 5/5/5. Right? I wrote down in the quotation marks, the fifth element. Angel number 5 comes to death. The meaning of 5/5/5. Then I was having a conversation with my friend at the time, and we were talking about the book of Numbers. And I have not gone back to actually look at that and see exactly what in Numbers I was needing to look into, but he had mentioned to me about the book of Numbers. It was a conversation we were having, and then he mentioned the song of Happy Trails by Roy Rogers, and I looked it up. Now, these are things that I'm not even going to go into the whole spiel with these things. And then there was a song that began to play on the radio that caught my attention on this particular day that I had reflected on this death, and I had this conversation, and it was "Come As You Are" from Nirvana. Okay? And then, of course, that ended up leading me into doing the video that I did do where I said God is. And I used the James Cleveland song, 1975, right? 1979, I'm sorry, excuse me on that. Correction, 1979. However, I don't think those downloads really, some of those, the Happy Trails, the Book of Numbers, I don't know if it really has anything to do with the death download. But again, I wrote these downloads all down. These little nuggets all down on the same day. So I went ahead and read them out to you. However, let's go back to the date of death. I keep saying it because I remember telling my sister months after that, maybe, I said, I think I died that day. We had a car accident. Went over an embankment, got hit, went over an embankment. I remember feeling the rumble, hearing the sound, like as we were being drugged, down this embankment, down the grass, whatever. But I remember at one point I opened up my eyes and all I saw was blue. So like the blue sky, right? Closed my eyes and I was gone. When I opened up again, when I came back to, I remember I jumped into, it's like I jumped back into my body. And I remember, I was like, ooh, wait a minute. And yeah. Okay. I realized I was trapped. I don't know if I spoke about this in the other videos. I'm not going to keep going back and watching what I spoke about. But it was about the fact that on May 5th, 2012, and we all know about that year 2012, the Mayan calendar and all that stuff, right? May 5th, 2012, I had my death ritual done to me. I recognize that now. My daughters and I were on our way to the wedding of my aunt, who I love her dearly. And I was happy as a lark for her. I remember saying some weeks before, she had put it on Facebook, I'm getting married, something to that effect, and who's going to be there. And I said, and that, my response on that Facebook message was, I can't wait. I wouldn't miss it for the world. See, my aunt ended up getting married to her husband up now, late in her years. She raised her children. She raised her grandchildren. And then she got married to my uncle now, okay? It's my mother's oldest sister. However, I was happy as a lark for her because I remember growing up and seeing how, she had a few boyfriends, just a few, but she didn't get married again. She had her first, I believe, husband, which would be my cousin's fathers, my cousin, her two daughters, their father. But after that, no, she had her little boyfriends and everything. My aunt worked like 3-4 jobs, and she raised her daughters as a single mother, really, pretty much. And I commend her because I see how my life, turned out pretty much almost like that too. It's like go through all life, I got my boyfriends and things like that, but I'm raised my daughters as a single mother, okay? And I always knew that more than likely, for real, I tried. I had to. One marriage that we went to the courthouse for. And then the second marriage is more of, we're going to do it the biblical way. Yeah. But it wasn't on paper. So as far as I was concerned, hasta la vista, you was just a boyfriend. Boop. All right. Yeah. So my life was kind of like that too, and I knew that raising my daughters was probably going to be what happened before I actually had that relationship with somebody that it was going to be worth my goddamn wow. And goddamn it, I just said it. I was going to have to wait. I knew it until after I raised my daughters up, which is in a way it's a good thing because we all know I'd have had to kill a motherfucker for doing something to my daughters. Now I did have a couple of men, like I say, but when I say even the one that thought he was calling himself my husband, that last one, the one that we did it in the biblical sense, had I ever heard that he had done anything to my daughters in a way that was inappropriate, I think the death angel would have possessed me enough for me to take him out. That's how death and I walk. Okay? Since the death angel was sent to me back in May of 2012, when y'all sicked him on me, and he came to me. See, death angel came to me with a message, and I'm still trying to remember if that message was before or after. I want to say it was probably before, because actually, now that my memory is even better, it was before my aunt got married, because it was 2012, right? Yeah. Which means, yeah, it was before she got married that the death angel came to my bedside. I remember telling my uncle, my dad's sister's husband. He's also very much clairvoyant. He sees things. He sees angels all the time. He knew I did. He would come and he would talk to me about it. I loved him because he understood me. And I understood him. Even when his children be like, I know my daddy can probably get on your nerves every time he come in and talk to me. I'd be like, no, he's not. Because he understands me. He's the only one that seems to believe me when I say that I'm having these experiences. He's the only one. And so, yeah, I didn't mind him coming and saying something to me. So I remember I went to him, and I was like, there was a man standing at the foot of my bed. He was really tall. He was dressed in all black. But he's just standing there. And I said, and he was like, that was the death angel. And he said he had a message for you. And I was like, oh, really? And he was like, yeah. Well, I know what that message was. And it wasn't probably even really a message. They had already done the ritual for me to get killed that day, yo. And Death Angel came to check me out to see if this soul that they had tried to give to him to take, they had sent him towards to take the life, he had to come and check and weigh that soul on the balance, you idiots. I don't care if that's my mother and father. I don't care if that's my sister. I don't care if it's the president of the United goddamn States. You idiot. You sent the death angel to me, and the death angel had to come and weigh my soul in the balance first. And he found me light as a feather even back then. Dumbasses. I said it, goddammit. And so instead of me dying and then while y'all celebrated at the wedding, instead of me dying and y'all thinking, oh, y'all was gonna get that phone call so y'all could have my money, my inheritance, the one that y'all keep stealing You keep trying to won't give it up. Give it up already. Let a sister and her daughters live. Let us enjoy life now. But you sent the death angel. You sent my brother to me, and my brother said, oh, wait a minute. Who the hell these people think they doing? That's my sister. And she ain't wrong. Her soul is not messed up. She ain't done nothing wrong to nobody. She don't be out here doing nothing to nobody. So why did they send me to her to take her life? So maybe he did have a message for me. Maybe he was trying to let me know then that, hey, somebody sent me to you, but, you know, it ain't happening, Captain. As a matter of fact, I'll be with you that day. I'll be there. But what they don't realize is that me and a whole bunch of other angels and ancestors are going to protect you. What they mean for your bad, your harm, we're going to bring it to your good. And I remember when the firefighters things got me out of the trapped car, I'm asking about my daughters, and the man was like, well, it was you and your mother and your daughters in the vehicle, right? And I said, no, my mom was at the wedding that we were headed to already. And he was like, well, there was an older black lady with them. She's older. And I said, well, my mother. And just as he was saying that, I'm kind of looking at him like, but you know, I'm still real groggy, still messed up and everything, y'all. But this lady leaned her head over, and she was beautiful, tall, blonde, like my skin. So let's go ahead and say what it was. It was me, because her hair was all white. Can I say that again for those of you that didn't quite understand what I said? It was me that came and saved me and my 2 children from the hand of death on May 5th, 2012. 5-5-5. The 5th element. What you meant for harm, I was resurrected. So you want to see a Christ walking? Hello. Did I not tell y'all long ago, a little while ago, in one of my first little videos, I am a grandchild of Yahshua? Or, aka, your Jesus Christ. And I'm still walking around. Now, I'm not using my Bible today because that's out in the car with my daughters, and I don't feel like messing with my phone or anything. But I'm going to ask y'all a question. I'm going to just put it out there. Because in the Bible, there speaks of moments where there were people that were raised from the dead. Jesus raised one from the dead, right? Lazarus. That's the most infamous one. That's the one that everybody remembers. Lazarus come forth. Can y'all tell me something? There's a scripture that says man is appointed to death one time. Right? Something to that effect. I'm saying I'm not doing it today. But y'all know I know what I'm talking about. He's appointed to death one time. Something's been mulling over me in my mind. Would that mean that Lazarus is a walking zombie around here? Lazarus is still walking around the earth because he was appointed to death one time. And if he was died and he was stinking by the time Jesus got there, that means that when Jesus called Lazarus forth from out of the grave. And Lazarus came walking out, and they removed his bones and everything like that, and such and so forth. If he was appointed to death one time, that means Lazarus is still walking around here today. Y'all want to know something I heard? And I mean, it was in a TV show, but it kind of made me think. The Order of Lazarus. In the TV show, the Order of Lazarus was a bunch of vampires. Oh, yeah. We go back to the fact that y'all like to drink blood on first Sunday. And what did I say at first about Lazarus? Is he not a walking zombie? What do zombies like to eat? Flesh. And y'all do that every first Sunday too. Oh no, Sister Girl isn't high. Not at all. I smoked 6-7 hours ago. And came home and slept it off. Not home, but home is where the heart is, so I don't worry about that. Don't even. But when I was out I dashed a little bit, try to get a little money while we're here in LA. Try to make a little money so I can eat shit. Trying to see if I can deal with the LA traffic. See, the last time we came, Michaela drove all that trip. She didn't want me driving. She wanted to enjoy driving because she's trying to get her license, and I'll be glad when she do, because Mama ready to roll. Mama's ready to vamonos. I done raised my daughters. All right, but yeah, I died, y'all, and the first near-death experience that I can actually recall, I was probably maybe 8, 7, 8. I don't know. We went to Chicago, Illinois for in the summer. See my uncle, my great uncle, my dad's uncle, his father's brother, who lived in Chicago, and his family, his children, grandchildren, and that was the last time I remember ever seeing those people, y'all. I wouldn't know those family members if I tried to know those family members. I remember going to Chicago. I told y'all, I think, but this is how it goes. I remember going to Chicago. Me and my best girlfriend, we went to Chicago in our 30s, I would say. It might have been 20s. No, it was 20s because Michaela wasn't even born yet. So it was my middle 20s maybe. I went to Chicago, and I remember telling her, I said, I can't talk to nobody here. And she was like, why not? And I said, because I got family here and I don't even know who they are. So I'd have to be very, very, very careful. I'd have to ask some questions. Who your family? Do you know these people? Especially, they don't have the same last name anymore. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so that's what I told her. I can't date nobody in Chicago. She cracked up. She said, girl, please. But anyway, that's just a little side thing. But anyway, but in Chicago at the hotel that we were staying at, I remember my mom, she took us out to the pool. And me and my older sister were in the pool. My mom, I believe, was pregnant. And then she had my sister that was after me, I want to say, as a baby. So, yeah, she wasn't in the pool. I never learned how to swim. And kind of playing around in the water, enjoying the water because, hey, I'm a water baby. I'm a water baby, regardless of the fact. I'm from the water, so I love the water. And I'm playing, but didn't realize that I had waded into the middle of the pool. I couldn't feel my feet no more on the ground. And when I realized and I came into real fruition of what was going on, I was bobbing up and down in the water. I realized what was going on, and I was bobbing up and down in the water. Well, recently that came up too, that whole thing, and I wondered then, was that also a time where I was death magic? I just remember the look that I received from my mother. I started to remember that look, and that look at first looked as if, is she getting ready to, is this happening? Are we gonna be good? But when I looked right at her eyes, then it became fear. And so then she had to go into action. I hate to think that was the case. I really do. People don't realize I'm not trying to be funny, and I'm definitely not trying to bring about things that didn't happen. But that intuition is a motherfucker. And the Akashic records are open to me, very much so. And I can't help but to think that every time I see this in my mind's eye, that look, the first look that I got was that look of, yep, it's getting ready to happen. Whatever spell I did to take her out now, it's gonna work. But the moment we locked eyes, wait a minute, because she might come back and get me later. She might haunt me. Maybe that's what you thought. So, can y'all stop sending death magic? It doesn't work. And since I'm appointed to die only once, and I think I died May 5th, 2021, I'm sorry. 2012. God damn it. Sorry. It happens. We probably not even, the years ain't right anyway. Let's just be honest about that too. But since I'm only appointed to die once in my life, and I think that was successful, but in the fact that I still defeated death. Actually, I didn't have to defeat death. Death literally said, hell no. Period. And death has been saying hell no to y'all ever since. Death has been walking with me and karma closely. If you don't remember me putting that up on Facebook, I am divine love walking. Karma walks right beside me, and death follows closely behind. Don't with me. Stop trying me. Stop testing the waters. Stop causing me to go into a fit of rage because I'm ready to burn down the houses. And when I mean houses, I mean y'all's church houses. Because y'all people that sit up here and call yourselves saints and be shouting on Sunday morning and then turn around in the dark of night. The dark of night, you're out here casting spells, poking little holes with the voodoo doll on my neck and shit, trying to stop my throat chakra, trying to stop me from speaking, trying to stop me from talking. What you gonna do next? Try to drop? Let me not even. No, I don't even want to give you no ideas. You just need to quit. I'm gonna ask you one time only. Who the fuck do you think you're fighting? Who do you think you're doing that to? Yeah, you can do it to my body all day long. They say don't fear what man can do to your body, but what he can do to your soul, right? It's the soul that we're worried about. This ain't my soul. This not my soul. This not my soul, y'all. My soul is on the inside. My soul is a spirit. You can't mess with it. You can't sell it because I don't give it to you. I've never willingly said you can have my soul. See, when I was in church, and the motto then was sold out, sold out. I started wondering about that sold out. The devil want me to sell my soul. Isn't that what y'all said? Lucifer wants us to sell our soul. Well, I ain't asked y'all to sell y'all soul. I brought you enlightenment. And if you ain't understanding what I'm saying, yeah, I'm saying it. Lucifer, me, hello. I brought you knowledge. I brought you the light because I am the light bearer. Enlightenment. Knowledge. And knowledge is what? Knowledge is power, you dumbasses. I brought you what was going to free your goddamn mind from this goddamn matrix prism that you're in. Eve wasn't a problem. It was Adam, you dummies. He wanted to control her. But he came out of her. So Eve, being the docile sweetness that she was, my precious, 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 beautiful, precious, I pulled her to the side and said, look, girl, look, I don't know what you think is going on here, but that motherfucker, he don't control you. Period. Eat this so you can get a little wisdom. And it wasn't eating anything. I booped her. Let's ask a question here, because I want y'all to understand. We gonna go there, because see, like I said, y'all tried to kill me. Y'all killed me. So I'm walking around here now, appointed to die only once. And maybe it was a symbolic death. Maybe I just passed the fuck out. But I know one thing is for certain and two things is for sure. I'm still here. And I'm walking in my purpose. And that's to once again enlighten you dumbass motherfuckers. I said it. I don't care if you're the bishop of the Church of God in Christ. If you're an idiot to me, you're an idiot. You're just unlearned. But when you sit up here and you literally do things behind closed doors while you preach to the people in the church, telling them not to do those same goddamn things that you're doing behind closed doors to harm someone, you are a fucking idiot. I have no respect for you, bishop, president, father, mother. I have no respect for someone who would choose to do things that would bring death to my doorstep. And And then you idiots keep on trying to send him, and he keep on trying to tell you, stop with the fucking foolishness. I'm not gonna do it. And you're mad because I sit up here and I can use words like that. Fucking. I said it. And still death won't take me. And still God loves me. Huh. Why, I wonder? Because I'm not out here trying to be holier than thou and making people think that I'm one way when I'm actually the opposite. When I'm not out here trying to make people think that I live one type of life and I'm actually living like this. I am that I am, and I do it with no conviction. If I want to cuss, I want to cuss. So what? If I want to smoke weed, I want to smoke weed. So what? If I want to go and get me a goddamn margarita at Margaritas, who gonna stop me? And who gonna really have the right to judge me? No one. Because we all here living this human experience. I can make choices in life, and I don't even care who says anything. There's some things that, the whole eating situation at this point in time, you killed me, right? Okay, so I don't succumb to these laws the way y'all have them. I succumb to the laws of Mayat and the laws of the universe. And if I want to deal with the 10 Commandments and the laws of the Torah, I have that right too. And I'll take some of them and I'll take others. But like I said, the laws of Mayat and the laws of the universe supersede anything that the Torah and the Bible's 10 Commandments say. Because laws of Mayat were first. The laws of the universe, they were first. Now I done went to 42 minutes and I'm still not done, but I just wanted to say that. For those of y'all that was wondering if y'all actually were successful, I do believe you were successful that day. However, you didn't know who you had on your hands. And my mother and father, the Most High, Anu and Antu, and the divine source from which we all came from, said not so. Not our baby. And they send her right back because she got something to do. And in this cycle, she gonna close it all the way the fuck out. God damn it, we just saying. She gonna close it out. She's tried many times over. Not even many, because this is my life path 4. Which means they don't send me in often. Probably because I'm a big dog. 7th sister of the 7 sisters, right? And they got me down here now with many, because it is a legion. Go ahead, call me demonic, because when Jesus took the demons out of the man and sent them over into the pigs, he asked them, what is your name? And they said, we are legion, for we are many. Well, God damn it is the truth. As the sands of the sea, Abraham. Can you count sand piece by piece? No. Can you count a snowflake piece by piece? No. And if you put snowflakes under a microscope, you'll see that each snowflake has its own signature. but you can't count them. You can't count the sands of the sea, for they are many. And it's a whole lot, right? Legion, we are many. My ancestors, your ancestors, that flow, their memories, their trauma, their happiness, their sadness, their fear, their anger, their regrets, trauma, the love, all flows throughout, in and out of your body, through your blood. The legion, because you don't know your ancestors from the very beginning, when there was a void, darkness, and the light that came forth out of that darkness began the whole revolution of bringing us into absolute existence. Correct? And so if that is the case, you have a legion of ancestors. So again, Lucifer is enlightening you one more time. For me to even be able to say it without even batting an eye that I am Lucifer, never was I male. Tell them to stop lying with that one too. They didn't want you to know that the enlightened one that they set up here, the Luciferian information that they set up here and want to use in the secret societies and stuff, was a female. Just like every other priestess around here. The Sibyls. We gave them the knowledge, y'all, and then they demonized the women. Because they couldn't do what? Control us. And it's funny how my ancestors are like, you're the one that can bring the shit down. You have rite of passage in and out of places a lot of people don't have because you've already died. High ranking too, young lad. High ranking young lad. You got access, baby. So every time I go to sleep at night, me and Death and Karma, we ride. We ride. When I say I continually go down into the pits of the darkness, and forth the light shines. And those souls that want to gather towards the light, I'm leading them right on now. Same thing that Yeshua did, right? He had the keys. Isn't that what you said? The keys to heaven and hell. See, there were so many gods in the Bible, and then you had the devils. I'm thinking about it, the devils, you had 2 or 3 different ones. When I saw Lucifer fall from light, I saw Lucifer fall from heaven like lightning. Okay, I am the light bearer. I am the lighthouse. I am the light. I really don't care anymore what you think of what I'm saying. There is nobody out here that really would want to say that they're Lucifer, because Lucifer got a bad rep for enlightening. And then because the secret societies that you have nowadays decided that my information was only meant for those elitist people, you had to get to a certain status and level. And then the master woke up. Booyaka. And now y'all running for cover. Y'all don't know what to do. The master done fucking woke up. The master at enlightenment, that is. She done woke up. And she gonna tell everybody. We've been teaching them something from a woman. Thank y'all for celebrating my death, from which you all caused. However, I want you to know that it's in your face. It's all over your face. The shit stinks. Because while you thought you were taking me out, you were only elevating me higher to my ascension, right? And the same people that thought they were taking me out are the same ones that are like, please slow down. We need to catch up. Fuck you on that. Because when I tried to lend out my hand to help you out, you tried to pull me back in. I don't trust you. President of the United States, Bishop of the Church of God in Christ, the highest bishop of the Church of God in Christ, Bishop of the Western Missouri State, whatever. If that's the case, I don't care. Mother and father, pastor and wife of, the church that you're pastor and wife of. Missionaries, deacon bull, usher bull, members, whoever made that conscientious choice to say, we gonna count her out for nothing because she's a weed smoking and at the time promiscuous single mother. We counting her out. Thank you. Because when you counted me out, it elevated me. So thank you. I can never come back down to your level. Not in knowledge. And now, not even in death. Thank you for putting into perspective exactly what the Most High wanted me to do in the first goddamn place. Thank you. Thank you for counting me out. Now this video went longer than I wanted, and I didn't talk too much about death, excuse me. However, it is what it is. I am that I am, and that's all that I can say that I am. And I am. Free your mind, and the rest will follow. Stay colorblind, don't be so shallow. Free your mind, and the rest will follow. In Vogue. Free your mind. Boop, 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 boop. Free your mind. Boop, 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 boop. You sent the death angel for me. 555. And yet I rise. Bye-bye.